Most woodworkers spend half their lives fighting to get a smooth edge on a curved piece, but this little machine seems to have a real grudge against rough edges. It is one of those tools that sits on the bench looking unassuming, yet it ends up doing the heavy lifting for almost every project. The first thing that hits you is the size of the work surface. At roughly 16 by 16 inches, it feels surprisingly spacious for a benchtop unit. You aren't constantly fighting for room to maneuver your workpiece, which is a massive relief when you are trying to keep a steady hand on a delicate curve. The motor is a half-horsepower unit, and honestly, it has enough grunt to handle hardwoods without bogging down, provided you aren't trying to take off an entire inch of material in one pass. What really makes this thing shine is the oscillation. It moves up and down just enough to keep the belt from clogging up with sawdust, which means you get a much cleaner finish, and the abrasive lasts significantly longer than it would on a stationary sander. Now here is the thing about the table tilt. It goes from 0 to 45 degrees, and while the mechanism is solid, it does take a minute to dial in perfectly. You might find yourself double-checking the angle with a square just to be safe, but once it is locked down, it stays put. The dust collection is handled by a 1.5-inch port, and while it does a decent job of keeping the air clear, you will definitely want to hook it up to a shop vac rather than relying on gravity. One of the smartest touches is the onboard storage. It sounds like a small detail, but having a dedicated spot for the extra spindles and inserts means you aren't digging through a junk drawer every time you need to switch setups. It is a thoughtful design choice that keeps the workspace from turning into a disaster zone. If there is a downside, it is that the machine has a bit of a footprint. It is not exactly a lightweight portable unit you can toss in a bag, so make sure you have a permanent home for it on your bench. Also, the included 80 grit belt is fine for general shaping, but you will likely want to grab a variety pack of finer grits if you are looking for a furniture-grade finish. It is a workhorse that does exactly what it promises without any unnecessary fluff. For anyone tired of hand-sanding those tricky contours, this is a solid, reliable way to save your sanity and get much cleaner results in half the time. It is not the flashiest tool in the shop, but it is definitely one of the most useful.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.